there's an X to take you there.
Test drive at one of your local Louisiana BMW dealers and take advantage of exclusive offers.
The human body is an amazing machine, and each one is different. If you want to lose weight, whether it's 15 or 150 pounds, Woman's Hospital can create a custom program that gets results. Our team of doctors, nurses, dietitians, and exercise physiologists know that weight loss is a science, and we have your solution. Visit womans.org/solution to schedule a free virtual or in-person visit today.
First pitch is just moments away. This has been the Woman's Hospital On Deck Show. Now, once again, for the play-by-play story, here is the voice of LSU Fighting Tiger softball, Patrick Wright.
And welcome back to muggy and warm Tiger Park. 85 degrees, relative humidity 67%. And it feels like 94 degrees, and the wind will be blowing in hard from the south, hard from center field, 13 miles an hour, gusting to 22 miles an hour. So Allie Kilponen taking her warm-up pitches in the circle for LSU. Kilponen, 168 ERA, 12-6 mark on the season, 91 2/3 innings, only 64 hits. Only 22 earned runs, 30 walks, and 94 strikeouts. Opponents hit 191 against Kilponen. We also welcome our viewers on the simulcast on the SEC Network Plus. Glad you're with us here as game one of this doubleheader will get rolling here with Hannah McEwen stepping into the box. Game two, of course, will be on the SEC Network tonight. You get the A-team, Beth Mowens and Michelle Smith. Oh, a nice crowd for a Monday 2:30 is gathering, and hopefully a few more people will wander in as the day goes by. Hannah McEwen, 330 average, 4 homers and 15 runs batted in from the left side, and Kilponen delivers ball one outside. Well, McEwen has been stuck on 199 career hits for a little while. Her last 5 games, 0 for 11, but she's drawn 7 walks. She was 0 for 2 Saturday and drew 2 walks. The lefty takes a strike over the outside corner, and it is 1-1. As a reminder, it's 200 down the lines, 220 to center, 5-foot green padded fence all the way around. Here's the 1-1 to McEwen. She lines it on one hop, diving attempt by Tidwell, but it's off of her glove into right field, and that will be base hit number 200 for McEwen. She finally, after 6 games, sitting at 199, has hit number 200. It was kind of a soft liner that McEwen pulled. Tidwell, starting at second base, dove for it, it hit her glove, and rolled into right field. And here is Braxton Burnside, very dangerous right-handed batter. Rise ball inside corner strike, and it's 0-1. Arkansas does not steal. They've only got 4 on the year, although they stole 1 here the other night. McEwen has 1 steal on the year. It's just not what they do. They hit homers and they walk. The 0-1 drops just low, and it's 1-1. The LSU defense has Clark at first, Tidwell mentioned at second base, Pleasance at short, Doyle at third, Briggs in left, Andrews center, Gutierrez right, Cummins catching. Here's the 1-1. Screwball moves inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Burnside, a .360 hitter, 24 homers. That's second in the nation. 51 runs batted in. Is third in the nation. Here's the 2-1. That one misses up and in, ball 3. Burnside draws a lot of walks. 35 of them on the year. She was 0 for 3 and did not reach base at all here on Saturday night. Here's the 3-1. Curveball up and away, and the first 2 Arkansas batters are on. And that'll bring up Gamble, the third baseman. So a single and a walk. And Hannah Gamble, .338 average, 8 homers, 24 runs batted in.
Batting third for the Hogs, third baseman number 20, Hannah Gamble.
Gamble in SEC play. .222 average, 6 for 27. She was 0 for 1 but walked twice here the other night. Pitch drops low, ball 1. And it's 1-0. Gamble, a right-handed batter. Well, McEwen is on at second. Burnside on at first. Tigers turned 3 double plays on Saturday. Strike call, no. Allie Kilponen also wanted to kind of know where that one was. I've got some questions myself. 2 balls and no strikes. And Georgia Clark will come over and visit with Kilponen, just give her a little encouragement. So early thread here for Arkansas. Here's the 2-0. It is low and in, ball 3. Now Kilponen's got to dig deep here and find something. Here's the 3-0. And that's a strike right down the middle, and it's 3-1. Moving over the inside corner. And that makes the crowd behind the plate a little happier. Kilponen still needs some more strikes, though. Here's the 3-1. Strike 2 at the knees, and it's a full count. That one looks similar to the one that was called a ball a little while ago. But it is now 3-2. First and second, none out, top of the first inning. Here is the 3-2. And that one does drop low, and the bases are loaded with none out. Well, Arkansas, they hit a lot of home runs, and they draw a lot of walks. 87 homers, second in the nation. 186 walks, third in the nation, and they've drawn 2 already. And Beth Torino wants a visit with Kilponen, who has not retired any of the first 3 batters. LSU Athletics thanks its Team LSU corporate partners Cox, McDonald's, Our Lady of the Lake, Planet Fitness, Rouse's Markets, Coca-Cola, People's Health, and Hancock Whitney. Well, one thing that Arkansas does do a lot of that could be to LSU's advantage is they also strike out a lot. They have struck out 246 times in 46 games. That is a little over 6 a game. And the home plate umpire, Don Brown, is going to head out to the circle and in a roundabout angle is going to see if he can break this up. But it is a key moment early in this game. You know, Mary Half, who will start, did not allow much to the Tigers when she pitched here on Saturday night. So you'd really prefer not to dig a hole if you can at all help it. Danielle Gibson, the first baseman, will bat. She was 1 for 3, had an infield single. Their leading average hitter at 384. 16 doubles, a triple, and 15 homers. Yeah, she's dangerous. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. Well, they do hit a lot of homers, but the wind is blowing in hard. So you can keep them in the park on some fly balls. Here's the 1-0. And there is a fly ball. It's hit to deep center field. Andrews is at the fence, and she catches it. Runner will score. Runner at second goes to third. If there is no wind, that ball is a mile out of here. As it is, that ball went to the warning track, and it's 1-0 Arkansas. As Gibson hit it a long way, but the wind kept it in. And that'll bring up Malkin, the DP.
Designated player, number 22, Lenny Malkin.
Well, Andrews settled just on the track in front of the fence to grab that one. Malkin, a right-handed bat, strike 1 called at the knees, and it's 0-1. Malkin, a .272 hitter, 15 homers, 37 runs batted in. Lately, though, in SEC play, just 2 of our last 25. 080 average, righty bat. Curveball tried to check her swing, she did not, and it's 0-2. Well, McEwen scored. Burnside went to third on that long fly ball. So there's runners at the corners and 1 away. And Kilponen could use a strikeout. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a little foul back into the net. So we'll do 0-2 again. Arkansas playing for a championship here today. They have 18 wins in league play, and these are their final 2 games. They do not play at all next weekend. Here again, the 0-2 to Malkin, swinging a foul back. So Arkansas has got 18 wins. Florida has 16 wins. If Arkansas gets 2 wins today, they clinched the championship. Florida, even with a sweep at home against Texas A&M next weekend, could not catch them. Here's the 0-2. High chopper to short. Pleasance to second for one. To first, a double play. Fourth of the series for LSU, and it gets them out of the inning. So Kilponen did well just to allow the one run on the one hit, one runner left. Arkansas won. Tigers will bat when we come back on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
This is
Hey students, what's the best way to attend LSU games and win great prizes and experiences? Download the LSU Go Rewards app. Presented by Light Ion, Red Point, and Mark Baton Rouge. Go Rewards app gives you the ability to earn points for attending LSU athletic events, to obtain exclusive access, experiences, and tickets for both away and postseason games. Download the LSU Go Rewards app from the iTunes Store or Google Play.
Mary Half, who was outstanding. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, did not walk anyone, struck out 4, had 1 hit batter in the mix. So just 5 base runners, and LSU, the only serious threat they had was in the first inning. Andrews got as far as third, and then Georgia Clark hit a little pop fly down the right field line that Huffine, the second baseman, made a very nice diving catch on. Saved a run, and LSU never really got close the rest of the game. So here is Andrews to lead it off. Last 11 games, hitting .487. She's on a 6-game hit streak, and her average as she steps in is .372. First pitch to the lefty, runs up, half delivers, strike 1. Gamble at third, Burnside at short, Huffine at second, Gibson at first with Green catching, McEwen in left, Torres center, and Monzo the right fielder. And the 0-1, Andrews runs up, slashes it deep in the hole at short. Throw is not going to be in time, and Andrews beats out a base hit. Once that one got past the third baseman, it was going to be a hit. Burnside did all she could, but Andrews extends her hit streak, and Sierra Briggs will bat. Now, in the Saturday game, Andrews ran on the very first pitch. We'll see if LSU is that aggressive. Sierra Briggs working on an even better hitting streak than Andrews. Briggs has an 8-game hit streak. Lefty bat shows the bunt. Andrews not going, and the ball is outside. Half a 1.61 ERA, 22-4 record, 160 2/3 innings, 168 strikeouts, only 32 walks. A good control pitcher. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, looked like a little bit over the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Briggs overall, 344. Last 14 games, 447. And when she's bat second in the lineup, 462 average. Here's the 1-1. Bunted through that one, and it's 1-2. So her job now to do something to put it in play to get Andrews over. Briggs with good power, 7 doubles, 3 triples, and 4 home runs. And the 1-2, Briggs went for a rise and fouled it back, and the count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. One to nothing, Arkansas. The Tigers have the leadoff runner, though, on base with Andrews. And Half brings the 1-2 up and away. Good take, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So again, if Arkansas wins 2, they clinch the league. If they win 1 today, they clinch a tie and would hope for 1 Florida loss next weekend to get it outright by themselves. The 2-2. Line drive, base hit center field. And there's runners at first and second. Andrews kind of had to hold up because it looked like Huffine might leap up and grab it near the bag. But she did not. It was hit well enough, and Andrews and Briggs both extend their hitting streak here in the first inning. Well, and I didn't mention it when they batted, but they were in a little bit of a shift for Briggs. Huffine was actually kind of behind the second base bag. So let's see what Pleasance will do with runners first and second. Pitch is outside, ball 1. She sacrificed in this situation the other night not sure Beth Torina will do that here. Pleasance was 0 for 2 with that sacrifice. 312 hitter, 42 RBIs, 10 homers. Showing bunt, pulls it back, swings and misses, and it's 1-1. And if Arkansas were to get swept today, they can still win the league, but they would need Florida to lose a couple of times at home next weekend to Texas A&M, who is 8-13 overall in the league. Here is the 1-1, up and away, 2 balls and a strike. So Arkansas playing with a lot on the line, looking for their first ever league championship. Here's the 2-1 to Pleasance. Change up, and she is hit on the thumb. She pops it up, foul to third base, and Gamble's got it. There is one out. Well, Pleasance waited on the changeup and then took kind of a belated half swing at it and just was all tied up in knots. And a very good pitch by Half, and there's one away. Georgia Clark 0 for 3 in game 1. 221 hitter with 7 homers, 21 RBIs. Here's the first pitch. Up high, ball 1. Clark over her last 23 games, a 288 average. After a 140 start. The 1-0, low and away, ball 2. Amanda Doyle moved up to the 5 spot in the order, is on deck. As she's hitting a little better recently, Raylene Gutierrez batting 6th. Has not hit as well the last few games, so a little bit of a flip-flop there. Clark ahead 2-0. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Rise up and in, and it's 2-1. One out, runners at first and second for the Tigers. They're down 1-0, bottom of the first. Here's the pitch to Clark. A tapper deep short. Shortstop wants to force it third. Good play by Burnside. She's got the lead runner, and there's 2 down for Doyle. So Andrews forced. Briggs goes down to second, and Doyle will be the batter. Doyle hitting .260, 8 homers, 29 runs batted in. She has had big hits against Half in her career, a couple of big homers. A game winner in the 7th inning 3 years ago here, and a 3-run homer against Half that gave LSU a 3-1 win in a game at Fayetteville a couple of years ago. Would settle for an RBI single, strike 1, inside corner. So after Andrews and Briggs singled, the inning has not picked up as LSU would have hoped. A couple of outs, runners still at first and second. And here is the 0-1. Pulled foul outside of third. Gamble gave it a wave with the glove. Didn't matter, it was foul, and Doyle is behind 0-2. The Tigers have out-hit them now 2-1, but Arkansas used a couple of free passes and a long sacrifice fly to get their run at the top of the inning. So Doyle down 0-2. Here it comes. Reaches for it, line drive, base hit, center field. It's going to be close at the plate. Here comes Briggs. The throw is not in time, and we have tied the game at a run apiece. Doyle on an 0-2 pitch lines one right back through the middle. Good speed at second, and Briggs, she made it home. And LSU is on the board for the first time in the series, and Doyle comes through again against Mary Half. Briggs got a good jump at second. Torres came up throwing, but it was cut off in the circle as the throw was going to be wide. So runners still at first and second, and here's Gutierrez. First pitch to the lefty. She takes it up high, ball 1. So LSU answers. They get the run back and get their first run of the series. Gutierrez hitting .271. Only 1 for her last 12, however. The lefty checks her swing on a good changeup. Umpire says she actually did not check. She tried to check, but she was fooled, and the count is a ball and a strike. Now, it almost seems unfair when these power pitchers lob those change-ups up there. That's a very effective pitch. We've seen Kilponen develop hers. And Half has a pretty good one also. Here's the 1-1. Up and away, ball 2. Sunseri, the on-deck hitter, as LSU has strung together 3 singles. They only had 4 hits for the entire game Saturday night. 2-1 to Gutierrez. Check swing, but another strike outside corner, and it's 2-2. Looked like she took a little bit off of that one also. Gutierrez takes a little step outside the box and will contemplate the 2-2 pitch that she's about to see. Here it is. Strike 3 at the knees, and the inning is over. Half got the low call in the zone. Gutierrez caught looking, but the Tigers get her told by way of our friend Matt Karen, our video guy who gives me information as the game goes by. Kilponen hit 73 on the gun in the first inning. And that is a number they have never seen her reach. Scrimmages, games, ever. Like 73 is as high as Kilponen has gotten. And she touched that once in the first inning. So either Kilponen is juiced up today, or maybe the gun's a little hot in this hot, humid weather. Swinging a pop fly by Green into right center field. The wind is going to swat it down, and Tidwell, second baseman, is going to go back and catch it, and there's one out. So on one pitch, Kayla Green, the hot-hitting catcher, pops out toward right. Tidwell went back and got it, and that'll bring up Ali Monzo. Monzo, 267 for the year, no homers, 4 RBIs. She hits from the left side. Monzo was 0 for 3 in game 1. And she swings at the first pitch, pokes it down the left field line in foul territory. Coming on to get it, Savannah Stewart in left field. 2 pitches and 2 outs. So LSU making their defensive moves here that bring Gutierrez into first. Briggs moves from left to right, and Stewart enters the game in left field. She is quickly tested and was up to it. So 2 pitches, 2 outs, and here is Keely Huffine. Takes it high, ball 1. Huffine just a 184 hitter, but she had 2 of the 4 hits. And her hit in the middle of their 7th inning rally was very key. So had some good swings against Sunseri. Here's the 1-0. Drops just a little low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Huffine coming into the weekend had really been scuffling. Had been 2 for her previous 28. The 2-0. That's the low strike call there, and it's 2-1. Looked to be about the same spot that Gutierrez was rung up in the first inning. So if pitchers can get that call, that's a good spot for both of them there. Here's the 2-1 to the righty. That one's up and in, ball 3. And it might have hit her. Well, she thinks it hit her, but the home plate umpire says it did not hit her, and Courtney Deifel is going to come ask. Going to very politely inquire as to what the umpire saw. As we look at it in slow motion on the replay, it's hard to tell if it grazed her elbow on the side angle. Umpire might have ruled that the elbow was over the plate. But either way, it is a ball, and it is 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Strike called at the knees. 3-2. So Kilponen seeing that low part of the zone. They're going for it. And quickly the 3-2. Oh, a little bit up and away. That didn't miss by much. And Huffine will go to first base. That'll bring up Sam Torres, the center fielder. Torres 1 for her last 20. 0 for 1 with a walk in the game Saturday. Torres a 306 overall average. A lefty slapper. with just one double out of her 26 hits. No homers and 4 runs batted in. Huffine stole a base. That was in the 7th inning Saturday. That was newsworthy because Arkansas doesn't do that. Strike call, that one's right down the middle. Arkansas has stolen 4 bases now this year. Huffine got her first. That was in the 7th inning when there were runners at first and third with 1 out, and it was apparent that LSU was not going to throw through. The 0-1. That one is fouled on a check swing at the plate. And the count is 0-2. Two outs, top of the 2nd inning. 1-1 score, LSU and Arkansas. And the 0-2 to the plate, low and away. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the LSU Sports Radio Network. Yeah. No, station break. ID. Is a line drive to center field. It's going to chase Andrews back a little bit, but she's there and will make the catch. And that will end the inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Runner left after the 2-out walk. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. 1-1 Tigers and Arkansas on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 9 in the order. Sinceri, the Tiger DP, 0 for 3 in her outing. That was a Saturday. Game 1 was Saturday. The Tigers, this is their 9th straight weekend of playing a 3-game series. They had a 3-game series with Texas before conference play, 3-game series with NC State a few weekends ago. 9th straight 3-game series weekend. They are 2-7 in Game 1 after their loss on Saturday, but in Games 2 and 3, they are 6-2 in both of those. And the first pitch to Sinceri is a ball inside, ball 1 from Mary Half. The last 3 weekends, LSU lost Game 1 and then won the doubleheader for Games 2 and 3. So they are trying to continue that run today. 1-0, loops up for a strike. Well, that's a pitch that Half threw the other night. That one looks like it is sailing up and away. Kind of an off-speed look, and all of a sudden it just takes a downward dip right at home plate. And there is nothing the batter can do. Here's the 1-1. Sinceri swings and fouls it back. I mean, that pitch, for all the world, looks like it's going about eye level. And then it just kind of plunges straight down. Sinceri, 224 average, 6 homers, 20 RBIs. Waiting for that hot streak to hit. And that one hit her up and in. So on a 1-2, you'll take that. Sinceri had a couple of doubles in a game at Kentucky last weekend, but is hit by a pitch here, and she'll take her base. And we'll see if LSU elects for a pinch runner. Sinceri is hit by a pitch for the 3rd time this year. Make that the 4th time. 24 of them for LSU. And Half is usually pretty much around the plate. She doesn't hit a lot of batters. That is her 11th, but she's pitched 162 innings. Here is Cummins. Sinceri will stay for now. Cummins fouls it, pulls it way out of play to the left side. Patrick Wright with you here at Tiger Park. Brian Haldane in the Capital One studio. And a welcome to our viewers on our simulcast on the SEC Network Plus. Glad you can make time wherever you are on a Monday afternoon, be it at work or home or wherever. Here's the 0-1. Cummins hits a pop-up foul. That's going to go out of play. Well, Cummins had a big weekend at Kentucky last weekend, homered in each game. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. And when you consider her season total now is 5 homers and 13 runs batted in, you can see how big of a weekend it was for her. But she was 0 for 3 on Friday night with a strikeout against Half. The 0-2 reaches for that one, a pop fly to left. It's going to be caught pretty much in her tracks by the left fielder, McEwen, and there's 2 down, or 1 down, beg your pardon. And that'll bring up Taylor Tidwell. Now, Tidwell lately is kind of all or nothing. Her last 6 games, she's 3 for 15, but they've all been homers. She also has mixed 4 walks and 4 strikeouts in there. Now, Tidwell, 176 for the year, 9 for 51, 5 homers, 10 RBIs. Sinceri's still at first with 1 out. And that pitch moves in a little bit, 1-0. Now, compared to Saturday night, half does not appear to be quite as sharp. Still pitching well enough. Here's the 1-0. High strike call, and it's 1-1. Has been behind in the count a little more often. And gave up 3 hits in the first inning. Leah Andrews on deck. She will hit this inning, as there's 1 out, a runner on first. Here's the 1-1. Up and in to Tidwell. 2 balls and a strike, so half is behind again. Game 2 will be right after 6 o'clock. Is our scheduled time. That's for the SEC Network and their broadcast. Here's the 2-1. Off speed, but it drops down low, and it's 3-1. That was close to that low part of the strike zone that we have seen called a strike. Half did not get the call there. It's 3-1. LSU will have 3 games next weekend against Auburn here at Tiger Park. 3-1 to Tidwell. Check swing, foul to the right side, and it's 3-2. Those game times, as it will be senior weekend, 5:30 on Friday, 6 o'clock Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday, and then a week from Wednesday, the SEC tournament commences in Tuscaloosa at the Rhodes House. Looking forward to getting over there for a big weekend of softball. Here's the 3-2 to Tidwell. High ball 4, and 2 runners are on base. That is her first walk, speaking of half, for the weekend. And here is Aaliyah Andrews, who singled in the first. Andrews now has a 7-game hit streak. And that single has hiked her average up to 376. And Beth Torina, I think, now is going to perhaps put in a pinch runner at second base. So now that Sinceri has moved up the chain a little bit, and it's going to be Anna Jones. So with the bottom of the order providing a couple of base runners, LSU's 2 hottest hitters have a chance to drive home runs. Andrews, having her best RBI season as a Tiger, has 19. With her ability to drive the ball back up the middle into the outfield, she's been driving in runs this year. Outfield has been forced to play her a little deeper. Now with the wind blowing in, they're maybe a little more shallow than they would be, but still not in close. They're at about medium depth. 1 out, couple runners on. Here's the pitch to Andrews. She drops down a bunt. It's a beauty. She's going to beat it out with no throw, and the bases are loaded. You can't do it any better than that. She bunted it about 10 feet straight in front of home plate. And Sierra Briggs will bat with the bases loaded. Andrews 2 for 2. Perfect bunt for Andrews. The third baseman, Gamble, came in and picked it up and very smartly did not throw the ball. All right, Briggs will bat. Now the infield is going to come in. Last time, Huffine was behind the bag at second, but they're in their normal spots now. And Briggs fouls it back. But a big spot for LSU to get a lead here in the bottom of the second inning, tied at 1. Looking for their first lead of the weekend and the new week. Infield tight. Jones, the runner at third with the speed. Here's the pitch. Briggs swings and fouls that one, and it's 0-2. Now she got a base hit over second base back in the second inning and later scored the run. Briggs has now scored a run in 9 of her last 10 games. Looking to drive them in this time. The 0-2 runs up, smashes it to short on one hop. She's going to go to first to get the out. The run scores, and LSU leads it 2-1. Good piece of two-strike hitting by Briggs as she hit it hard to Burnside, who had to move a little bit toward the second base bag, and that disallowed her from throwing home. I think if it's hit right at her, she comes home, but she would have had to have come across her body with the fast runner at third. So the other runners move up. Briggs does the job, and Pleasance can really cap the inning here with a hit. She fouled out her first time. She pops that one up into shallow left. Left fielder on the run. She's going to make the catch. That's McEwen, and that'll end the inning. But LSU gets one. Going to the third inning, it's 2-1 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
LSU 2, Arkansas 1. Fans at Assurance Financial, you can apply for a mortgage in less time than an inning. Learn more at AssuranceMortgage.com. That's AssuranceMortgage.com. And while enjoying tonight's game, we ask that you please remember 2 important safety protocols. First, please stay in your seats throughout the game when consuming food and beverages. And secondly, cover your...
For the league, McEwen, who got her 200th hit back in the first inning, and takes it high ball 1. Alabama needs LSU to win both games here. Then Alabama needs to sweep next weekend. Then they need to hope Florida loses once to Texas A&M. So you're saying there's a chance. There is a chance. Here's the 1-0. McEwen from the left side fouls it back, and it's 1-1. And, of course, in Florida, they are interestedly watching and rooting for LSU. If LSU can sweep here, then Florida's in a great position to win the league next week. Here's the 1-1. Pitch is low and away. And it is 2-1. If LSU were to sweep today, Florida could win the league outright with a sweep of their own. Or if they win 2 out of 3, they could share. So a lot of eyes are watching here today from afar. The 2-1. A little bit low, ball 3. Well, I mentioned in the first that McEwen hasn't been hitting much lately. She'd been 0 for 11 coming in, but she'd drawn 7 walks in her previous 5 games. And she's got a 3-1 count here. And she reaches for a changeup, was fooled a little bit, just kind of flares it out into left field, and Stewart's got it. There's one away. Oh, good job by Kilponen on a 3-1 pitch. McEwen was a little bit baffled, didn't take the best swing, and just lofted it out to Stewart, who's made a couple of plays now in relief. And here is Braxton Burnside, who walked in the first, and that kind of moved that inning along. Gamble would walk. That would load the bases with none out. Sack fly got 1 in, and Kilponen got out of the inning without any more damage. Righty bat. Good pitch up and in, a good rise ball strike, and it's 1-1. To this point, LSU has pitched Burnside very well this week. She is now 0 for 3, does have a walk, but has not hurt LSU. Pitches a swing and a foul back. It's 0-2. A couple of times on Saturday night, her first 2 at bats, she swung at the first 2 pitches. Well, she swung at the first pitch each time and hit into outs both times. A little more patient today, but is behind in the count 0-2. A little bit high and away. Cummins tried to bring it back, but a little bit too far, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. 2-1, LSU leads, top of the third inning. The only Arkansas hit was that leadoff hit by McEwen to start the game. The 1-2. Reaches for that one, hits it in the air, very shallow to the right side. Gutierrez gets out of the way for Tidwell to catch it, and there's 2 down. So they again keep Burnside off balance, and Gamble is due up, and she will hit. She walked to load the bases in the first inning. And then Gibson hit a sacrifice fly to the fence in center field that the wind kept in the ballpark. It is still blowing in hard out of the south at about 20 miles an hour when it gusts. 2 outs, base is empty. Here's the pitch. High pop up on the infield. I think the wind's going to push that out of play, though. It will. It'll end up in the net. It'll be a strike, and it's 0-1. Auburn will be in town this weekend. Auburn 6-15, coming off of a sweep at the hands of Tennessee. Auburn 26-19 overall. Good RPI, still I believe in the 20s, so they are in pretty good shape, you would think, to make an NCAA tournament. And not sure exactly what's going on. The batter is getting some new. She might have switched out her armband. I just now looked at the monitor. Gloves, armband, something, but Gamble's back in with an 0-1 count. And here's the pitch. Ball is a little bit inside, and it's 1-1. Two to 1 LSU, top of the third. And the 1-1. Good pitch over the outside corner at the knees, a strike, and a good little bend to that one. Put it in a perfect spot, and it's 1-2. Pitch a little bit up and away, and it's 2-2. Two outs, the bases are empty. Kilponen looking for her first 1-2-3 inning. And here is the 2-2, swing and a pull foul over toward the third base dugout. Tigers are wearing their white sleeveless jerseys today, with the purple sleeve underneath, and Arkansas is in dark gray pants and red at the top. And on the side of the jersey, the 2-2 reaches for that one and fouls it back. We continue with a lengthy at bat here as Gamble is making Kilponen earn this one. Again, the 2-2 in the dirt. That one never did quite make it to home plate. It's a full count as the off speed didn't quite get there. Now, Kilponen's off speeds have been pretty good because they have been. They look like they're hittable. That one never did look hittable. 3-2, ground ball to short. Flattens out for Pleasance. The easy throw across in time, and there's your 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Clark and Doyle and Gutierrez for LSU ahead of Arkansas 2-1 here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Earn rewards while you eat at Walk-On Sports Bistro. Download the Walk-On's loyalty app and earn a free waffle cheese fry for registering and 15% off your check for every 250 points. Move from walk-ons to first string by earning points and get access to new menu items and reserve seating for special events. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Hancock-Whitney is the official bank of LSU Athletics. You can learn more at HancockWhitney.com. LSU. On to the bottom of the third inning. LSU will try to add a little bit as they have taken their first lead. Single runs in the first and second inning. Left 4 runners on base, but they have scored 2. They have as many hits, 4, as they had all of Saturday night. Clark grounded to third her first time. Actually grounded to the shortstop, who threw it to third and got a force out is what happened. And Half delivers down and in, ball 1. Well, Half, again, typically a good control pitcher, but a hit batsman and a walk at the bottom of LSU's lineup set the top of the lineup in good shape, and Andrews and Briggs came through. 1-0, jammed her and popped it right to the first baseman. Gibson catches, and there's one away. And that'll bring up Amanda Doyle, who picked up yet another big hit against Half. That was in the first inning, a single up the middle. And it drove in 1. That was a 2-out, 2-strike hit for Doyle. One of 6 seniors who are going to be honored here next weekend. They're going to spread them out 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, and 2 Sunday like we typically do. Doyle showed bunt to the surprise of the infielders at the corners, who didn't really move. I'm not sure they bought it, but it was a strike called. And the count is 0-1. But Doyle's average headed back up. It's at 266. It had gotten below 250. The 0-1, that's low. It bounces away, and it's a ball and a strike. There is warm-up action in the Arkansas bullpen. The 1-1, smashed foul past third. Cannot see who is pitching down there. Maybe our friendly cameramen can get us a shot down in the bullpen. I see a catcher, but I do not see a pitcher. Oh, there we go. And that's a number 72. That is Jenna Bloom. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, foul tip, and Doyle is out on strikes, went for 1 down and in. Second strikeout for Half. That'll bring up Gutierrez, who earned the other strikeout. That was looking back in the first inning. Cameramen do a good job out here following the lead, of course, of Kevin Wagner, our guy over in who controls all the switches over in the athletic building, putting on a good production and letting us see things that we can't normally see. Now, this is actually Savannah Stewart. So LSU made a little bit of a different switch than we have seen. It was Stewart stayed in for Gutierrez. When she came into left field, Gutierrez was the one who actually left the game. It's 1-0 to Stewart, batting from the left side, takes a strike, and it is 1-1. Stewart is a 3 for 22 hitter, a 136 average, but 2 of those hits have been in the last couple of weeks when she's had spot duty in the middle of the game. Here's the 1-1. Off speed, floats, not a strike. That looked like a pretty good pitch. But it is 2-1 to Stewart. So Stewart now batting 6. She is the left fielder, where Gutierrez was. Gutierrez has been struggling a little bit, so Stewart will get a chance to make something happen. The 2-1. That slow floater is called a strike over the inside corner. Now, we were told earlier 1.5's changeups was 46 miles an hour. That probably was in that neighborhood right there. That one did not get there very quickly. Here's the 2-2. The catcher missed that one, kind of dropped it, but it was low and away. So Stewart's worked a 3-2 count. 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. It's LSU 2, Arkansas 1 in game 1 of this doubleheader. Stewart takes her spot in the box. And the full count. Popped it up. Wind, I think, is going to push it out of play to the left side. It does, up on the screen. So we'll do 3 and 2 again. Tigers have out-hit them 4-1 and leading the score 2-1. Neither team has been charged with an error, and that was the case here also on Saturday. Sunseri on deck if Stewart can get on base. Outfield not deep at all for Stewart. And that pitch is inside, ball 4. So a good at bat for Stewart to draw the second walk of the game, allowed by half, and a hit batsman. She didn't walk any in game 1. And they're going to re-enter Sunseri here. And remember, Jones' pinch ran for her, so Sunseri is now in the game, or back in the game. She was hit by a pitch back in the second, and that opened the floodgates. Now, if you want to call one run a floodgate, but it set the inning up for success, and LSU did get the run on a Briggs RBI ground out to short. Sunseri was hit by a pitch, went to second when Tidwell walked, and that's when Beth Torina pinch ran Anna Jones, and she later scored. The 2 outs, here's the pitch. Strike 1, inside corner. As the MO for pitchers, they try to tie up LSU's big right-handed batters, trying to get that ball inside. Here's the 0-1. Jammed her, a little pop-up out to short. Burnside caught it, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We're on to the 4th. It's 2-1 Tigers on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Arkansas, 2-1. Tiger fans, all LSU Sports Radio Network podcasts can now be streamed for free on the LSU Sports mobile app, presented by BASF. Download the new LSU Sports mobile app in the iTunes Store or Google Play. Visit lsusports.net/apps for details. LSU Sports mobile apps are presented by BASF. We create chemistry.
Two to 1 game. LSU has the lead over Arkansas. And the Razorbacks will send Gibson, Malkin, and Green 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Kilponen gave up a leadoff single to McEwen and has walked 3 since, but has gotten a lot of outs. Has not struck out anybody yet. Now, again, a little odd that Arkansas is a team that will strike out a lot. But the contact has been weak, and that's just as good as a strikeout. Now, Gibson has been a very hot hitter for them the last couple of SEC weekends. She did not have a hit. I take that back. She did have a hit. She was 1 for 3 on Saturday, but her last 2 series, scorching hot. Left-handed batter, and is their leading average hitter at .384. The first pitch is a strike from Kilponen. In her last 2 SEC series versus Missouri and Georgia, a .450 average, 9 for 20, but 4 homers and 13 runs batted in 6 games. Here's the 0-1. That one is well outside. It's a ball and a strike. And then Gibson drove in a run in the first inning here with a long sacrifice fly to center field. Gibson has 16 doubles to go with 15 homers. Here's the 1-1. Just missed low and away, and it's 2-1. Now the crowd has kind of grown a little bit as we've moved along. 2:30 on Monday, not the best start time, but they're starting to gather. Here's the 2-1. Popped it up. Very high into right field. Who wants it? Coming in hard is Briggs at the last moment to make the catch. And there's one out. Tidwell was out there. And, of course, you know Andrews is going to be in the neighborhood. And that ball kind of started out straight away right field, but the wind kind of moved it over toward center a little bit. Yeah, one out. And here's the pitch to Malkin. It's low and in, ball one. Kilponen wondering about that. 6-4-3 double play from Malkin to end the first inning. That was a big play in the game. Arkansas had first and third even after the sac fly. They still had a chance for more. There's a fly ball to center. Andrews is back, but the wind will hold that one in. She'll come in a few steps, and there's two down. And that'll bring up Green, the catcher, who popped the second her first time. I was actually politely informed, very politely informed, I might add, that it is not Kevin Wagner at the SEC Network Control today. It's our good friend John Sheeby and David Landry. My apologies, fellas. Didn't know Kevin was allowed a day off. 2 outs for Green. Right-handed bat. And she pops it up. That's on the infield in play. Cummins, though, can't get it behind by the screen. Clark was coming in. The ball ended up drifting toward the screen in foul territory on the right side. Cummins not happy with herself that she could not grab that. But she was dealing with the wind. Clark was running at her. Then the grandstand and the net were there. So simply a strike, and it's 0-1. Fouled that one back, and it's 0-2. Green also is having a better back half of the year. Last 11 games hitting .353. Here's the 0-2. Strike three called outside corner. Kilponen's got her first of the game. She has retired 7 in a row. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's LSU 2, Arkansas 1 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
TJ Ribs, the official barbecue restaurant of LSU Athletics. TJ Ribs is open late after games. Located on Acadian Thruway and Segan Lane, visit TJ Ribs.
Tigers looking to keep their impeccable doubleheader record rolling. 9-1. Pitches up high in the 8 weeks prior to this. There had been 5 doubleheaders. And LSU has been good at doubleheaders. 1-0 is a little bit low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Well, started it out with, you count Texas, that's legitimate. They were ranked 7th at the time. That was our first 3-game series against the same team. And it was a scheduled doubleheader on Saturday. LSU went 2-0 there. 2-0 is popped up. Will that one make it back to the screen? It will. There will be no play, and it's 2-1. So LSU swept the doubleheader with Texas. The next weekend, we were rained out game 1 at Tennessee. So we played 2 on Saturday, won the first one, and then lost the second one. And then we avoided the rain for a while. And then at Missouri, won a doubleheader on Sunday, 4-2 and 12-5. At North Carolina State, it was a scheduled doubleheader there, won both of those, and then won the doubleheader at Kentucky last week as Cummins fouls it away. So Texas, Tennessee, Missouri, NC State, Kentucky, 9-1 in those doubleheaders. That's a hard streak to keep alive. The 2-2 is a pop-up off to the side of the plate, and the catcher's going to grab it. Boy, Half got all inside the inside part of the bat on Cummins there. Just got it little. Actually, you know what? I look back, she kind of got it off the end of the bat and just barely got a piece of it, as we see that on the replay. And the catcher, good play by Green off to her left to get it, and that'll bring up Tidwell. Now, Arkansas, the best of the teams that LSU has played in the doubleheaders. Texas was ranked 7th at the time, but Arkansas, a team looking for a championship today. Popped that one up back to the net. Tidwell drew a key walk back in the second inning. That put runners at first and second, and that helped lead to an LSU run. Missouri and Kentucky, those of course were on the road, but both ranked teams. But Arkansas, kind of a step above, so a little bit tougher to keep that run of doubleheader wins going. But LSU's going to take their shot. Swing and a miss, actually a little foul back, and it's 0-2. Arkansas ranked 7th and 10th, depending on which poll you look at, and LSU 14th or 16th, depending on which. 2-1 LSU, bottom of the 4th in game 1. And the pitch. Hit that one foul. Just LSU is getting just tiny little pieces of the ball. Just a couple of their at-bats in this inning. As Half is throwing some stuff up there that they can't quite barrel up. Tidwell, an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch outside, 1-2. 2 walks for Half and a hit batsman to go with 4 hits. So LSU definitely has had more traffic on the bases today than on Saturday night. Here's the 1-2. Popped up into center. Second baseman actually will give way to the center fielder Torres, who comes in and makes the catch, and there's 2 down. And that'll bring up Aaliyah Andrews, 2 for 2. Andrews, 7-game hit streak now. And she's batting now over 500 her last 12 games. The 2 for 2 today has her 21 of her last 41 going back 12 games. And her average is up to 380. And she runs up and takes it high. Her first hit was a slash past the third baseman. Her second hit was a beautiful bunt, perfectly done, rolled about 10, 12 feet out in front of home plate. See what she can do here. The 1-0 runs up, tries to chop down on that one, and didn't get much of it, fouled it away. The count's 1-1. Now, Andrews got off to a kind of a slow start, first 11 games, then just got red hot, and then had a couple of weeks where she cooled off again. But now she has picked it back up again. Low strike called, and it's 1-2. Before this recent 12-game stretch that I have been referring to, her average got as low as 330. So she has hiked it all the way back up to 380. 1-2, very high and inside, and it's 2-2. That off speed kind of got away from Half there. With her 2 hits today, Andrews has now hit in 15 of her last 17 games. And here's the 2-2. Runs up on it, pulls it to the second baseman, who caught it in the air. Yeah, that was another off speed, and Andrews was able to pull that one. And it was a soft liner to Huffine who made the catch. So a very easy 1-2-3 for Half. We move to the 5th inning. It's still LSU 2, Arkansas 1 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The human
Coca-Cola, People's Health, and Hancock Whitney.
Recently, she walked 3 in the first 2 innings, but has retired the last 7 batters in order. And she will have the bottom of the Arkansas order to deal with here in the 5th. Monzo flew to left her first time. And time is called. So when you get to the bottom of their order, only Monzo and Torres, the 7 and 9 hitters, are not home run hitters. And now the first pitch is a low strike called. So that low part of the zone has been there on both sides, it looks like. And the count is 0-1. And the pitch is a swing and a foul. And that pitch up and away, and Cummins took the business into that. Not sure where it got her, but it did get her. See if we can get a look at it on the replay. Well, ball. Well, Amanda Doyle's laughing. It's easy. And Cummins is laughing too, so I think everybody is okay. Thought at first maybe it got her, hit her glove awkwardly, but I think it got her more on the, somewhere on the chest protector. I think they're, and Pamela Atkinson, the athletic trainer, is out. I think just going to let her catch her breath. She gives the thumbs up, says we're ready to go. We're going to get another look here. It got her. Oh, yeah, okay. It hit her kind of right near the armpit, right above where there is not much protection there. Yeah, so I think it got her in a spot. Yeah, right by the armpit where there's no guard there. The 0-2 is low and away, and it's 1-2. So none the worse for the wear. Cummins is good to go. And Monzo has a 1-2 count. She is 0 for 4 in the series. And she swings and just fouls it at the plate. Now, Arkansas coming into this game, and that number is going to go a little bit lower as of now. In their last 11 games, they're only batting .231 as a team. There's one away. Very nice play by Clark. If she doesn't make it, Tidwell maybe was going to get it, but it would have been a tough play to get the out. Yeah, Tidwell might have gotten it out on the grass, but Clark would have had to have gotten back to the bag. A good throw would have had to have been made. A lot of things that fortunately we'll never know what would have happened because Clark made the play. And here's Huffine, who has been a tough out in this series. Strike one at the knees, and it's 0-1. Huffine average at 184, but she's got 2 hits and a walk in the 2 games. Here's the 0-1 to the righty. That one is too low, and it's 1-1. Now, last weekend, Arkansas lost 2 out of 3 to Missouri. They only got 2 hits in each of the first 2 games. They then got 13 in game 3. 1-1. A little changeup that she lofts into left field on the run. Stewart's got the catch, and there's 2 down. Was out in front, but still managed to get the barrel on it and floated it out to left field, but Stewart made the play for 2 down. That'll bring up Torres. So 2 hits in the first 2 Missouri games, then 13, and then here, even in the win on a Saturday night, they got just 4 hits. They've been held to 1 hit today. And the wind blowing in has certainly not helped Arkansas. They've hit a couple of balls that probably would have been well out of here. 2 down, pitch to the lefty. Torres takes strike 1. Torres 0 for 1 today, 0 for 2 in the series, and 1 for her last 21. Her average is down to 302. 2-1 LSU, top of the 5th inning. Game 2 to follow at 6 o'clock. Here's the 0-1. Low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Two outs, bases empty. And the 1-1. Ground ball toward short. Pleasance to first in time. Another 1-2-3. Another 1-2-3 inning. The 3rd straight for Kilponen. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Briggs will lead it off, trying to get something started as LSU leads 2-1 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
All right, Tiger fans, it's time for our fifth inning stretch. So get on your feet, stretch, and join us in the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Defensive change for Arkansas, now playing right field, number 3, Larissa Cecina. Cecina, the new right fielder for the Razorbacks.
We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's LSU 2 and Arkansas 1. They make a defensive change due to the Razorbacks. Larissa Cecina will go into right field. We saw this defensive move on Saturday night as well. After Monzo batted, they bring Cecina in to play right field for a little while. So Briggs will bat. She singled in the first inning and then grounded to short with the bases loaded in the second. That drove in a run, and that has been the difference in the game right now. LSU took a 2-1 lead at that point, and they still have it. Briggs now has a 9-game hitting streak, and her average is at 346. And the first pitch shows bunt. Half delivers it low into the backstop. Half, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a couple of walks, and 2 strikeouts. Well, Briggs was also in a little bit of a dry spell and has seen her average skyrocket back upward. Here's the 1-0. Fouled it back out of play. Briggs, in fact, for a few games was below 300. She was her lowest was at 284 after the Florida series, and she has jumped up now to 346. 1-1 showing bunt. Took it a little bit low, 2-1. That the run I mentioned that she's on now, last 15 games. She's got hits in 14 of her last 15. And that's when things started to take a turn, hitting about 450 in that span. Here's the 2-1. Little pop fly down the left field line. It's going to be a diving catch. Outstanding catch by McEwen in left field. Briggs didn't get much of it and looped it down the left field line. McEwen made a very nice play as she went down on the ground, dove for it, and got it. Very well done. That'll bring up Taylor Pleasance. Pleasance has fouled out and popped out, both to the left side. Average at 307. This pitch is low and away, ball 1. Pleasance had a big doubleheader last Sunday against Kentucky. 4 for 7, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and walked a couple times. LSU scored 20 runs that day. The 1-1, high and inside. It's 2-0. It was 1-0. I beg your pardon. Now it's 2-0. One out, bottom of the fifth, 2-1 Tigers. Here's the pitch. Popped her up, foul back, and it's 2-1. Tigers have out-hit them 4-1. So it has been a pitcher's day again, and when it gets late in the year and the wind starts howling here, it can turn into a pitcher's park. Here's the 2-1. Fly ball, shallow left field. That one dropping in a hurry. It's going to twist foul and out of play. Well, out of reach. It was in play, but out of reach from everybody who was chasing it. Burnside at short, McEwen in left, and Gamble, the third baseman, was also on the scene. But that one, again, the wind, again, kind of pushing. Probably pushed that one from fair to foul down the left field line. It was not hit very well. You know, Half has drawn a decent amount of weak contact here the last few innings. Here's the 2-2. Good eye on the changeup that stayed low out of the zone. It's 3-2. Georgia Clark on deck with one out here in the fifth. And a 2-1 LSU lead. And here's the 3-2. That changeup is strike three. Floated it right in there, and it dropped this time in the strike zone. And Pleasance can do nothing but trudge back to the dugout after that. And there's two down. Beautiful pitch. That one was right in, and Pleasance, you could tell watching the replay, you could look at the expression on her face. She knew it. Was not expecting it. Your best hope is that the umpire doesn't call it a strike. Clark lines it foul. That hooked over Beth Torina's head, who was ducking in a hurry. Now, if you'll notice, when the Tigers are up at bat, Coach gets as far back for Georgia Clark, I think, as anybody on the team. In fact, she's standing almost in the Arkansas dugout right now, down the left field line. Here's the 0-1. Oh, good pitch outside corner there, and it's 0-2. Went a little inside, outside. And Half, after a rough first couple of innings, seems to have found herself a little bit. Here's the 0-2. Up and away, and it's a ball and two strikes. Well, the coach is back out, at least away from the Arkansas dugout now. She's back on the grass, but she's well behind third base. Here's the 1-2. She's jammed. Inside out, pop up over the circle. The first baseman will catch it, and that'll end the inning. Oh, Gibson got over behind the circle to get that one. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 6th. Still LSU 2, Arkansas 1 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
And several defensive changes. Moving back over to left field is number 88, Sierra.
We go to the 6th inning. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
First, number 55, Raylene Gutierrez.
All right, a couple of defensive changes for LSU. Taryn Antoine will now play in right field. Briggs moves back to left field, and Gutierrez is back at first base. So Stewart is out, Gutierrez back in the game, and of course Antoine in for defense. Top of the order, McEwen has singled and flown to left. Lefty bat, and the pitch is low, ball one. Well, McEwen, her freshman year, 12 homers, 57 RBIs in 59 games. Since then, only 8 homers, 53 RBIs in double the games. Strike called outside corner. Now, granted, though, she's playing with an offense that is much more equipped to where she doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting. So a very productive career, 200 hits now for McEwen, and a 360 career average. And the Tigers trying to keep her off base to start the inning. Lines it, caught on a dive by Tidwell, and kept it out of right center field, and there's one away. That ball was to the right of second base. Tidwell dove to her left and saved at least one base there. And there's one away. That'll bring up Burnside, who has walked and popped to second. Ball was hit hard. It would have been a single. I think Aaliyah would have gotten over to keep it from going to the fence. But it was hit well. Off-speed strike to Burnside, and it's 0-1. 2-1, LSU, top of the 6th inning. Patrick Wright with you here at Tiger Park. Brian Haldane in the Capital One studio. Here's the 0-1. Popped up right side, out toward the outfield, now going into foul territory, and nobody can get it. Gutierrez got turned around, and Tidwell couldn't quite get there, but the count is 0-2. If you're just joining us, maybe just hopping in the car, LSU gave up a run in the first. They answered with a run in the first, got the go-ahead run in the second, and that's where we are. Kilponen, 5 1/3 innings of one-hit ball. And here's the 0-2 to Burnside. Swing and a miss. Got it by her outside half. And Burnside is out on strikes. That's only 2 for Kilponen, but that's a good one to get there, and there's 2 down. And you keep the second leading home run hitter in the nation from hitting the ball. And here is Gamble, who has walked and grounded to short. Gamble, a .333 hitter, 0 for 1 in the game. And here's the pitch. Strike called. The bullet inside part. And it's 0-1. Kilponen, 1 hit, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Just threw her 78th pitch. Has not really had to labor except for the first inning. Just missed. Crowd thought strike 2 was coming, but instead it was ball 1. It's 1-1. Just off the corner. Next pitch is low, and it's 2-1 to the right-handed hitting Gamble. Arkansas with 1 hit. That was McEwen in the first to start the game. And Tidwell almost robbed her. She dove for 1 going to her left. Strike called, outside corner, 2-2. On that one, Tidwell had to dive to her right, and she did make the catch. Kilponen an out away from getting out of the 6th. The 2-2, strike 3 called over the outside corner. Kilponen strikes out the final 2 batters of the 6th inning. She's retired. 3, 6, 9, 12, 1 LSU. Doyle, Gutierrez, who is back in the game, and Sunseri are due up. LSU would like an insurance run against Mary Half, who is pitching very well. Doyle hits a fly ball deep, but that's going foul down the left field line. That was hit well up onto the Tiger Terrace, but the wind is pushing it well out of play. On a calm day, maybe you got a fair ball down the line, but not today. Doyle has singled in a run. Got Doyle. That ball was bunted kind of toward the third base line. or maybe they're going to say it was a foul. Yeah, okay, as we look at it on the replay, it was obviously, no wonder it had a funny spin because it bounced up and hit Doyle and then rolled into fair territory. So Doyle would have been out, and it very obviously hit her. The first base umpire, I think, was the one, Cameron Ellison, who had the call, and now the umpires are going to visit, and that's never good news. Oh, but yeah, the replay, and we're going to see the replay again. She bunted it straight down, and then as she was going to run to first, it looked fairly clearly like it hit her. It hit her, and it took a funny spin. But she's been called out. All right, I thought the first base umpire had thrown up his arms and said foul ball, but walked, and now Gutierrez is back. And she lines it to the first baseman. Gibson caught it. Kind of a soft liner, and Gibson reached up and got it. There's quickly 2 down for Sunseri. Good reaction by Gibson, who was in front of the bag a little bit with Gutierrez batting. Now maybe Sunseri can catch lightning in a bottle here and hit one out. Not an easy thing to do today. Change up, drops low, and gets through the catcher, 1-0. Now, LSU did well to get a couple off half in the first 2 innings. She has also really settled in. 90 pitches, 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. There has not been a hit by either squad in this game since the 2nd inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 1-0. Strike called, and it's 1-1. The last hit either team had was Andrew's single in the 2nd. That loaded the bases. Briggs drove in a run on the grounder to short. Pleasance flew to left to end the inning, and nobody's gotten a hit since. Good swing, but a foul back by Sunseri. It's 1-2. Sunseri hit by a pitch. That was a big moment in the game in the 2nd inning. That led off that inning and led to a run. And then she popped to short back in the 3rd. And time is called. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and LSU ahead 2-1. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball to right, down the line, foul. That's into the LSU bullpen, which is quiet. There's not been much need for anything to go on down there because Kilponen, since the first 3 batters of the game, has been in control. She went single, walk, walk, and has allowed only 1 base runner since then. Sunseri fouls it back. That was a walk in the 2nd inning to Huffine. Gibson hit a sac fly to the fence with the bases loaded that the wind came in very handy and kept it within the confines of the ballpark. Here's the 1-2. Popped up. First baseman will catch it in foul territory. Inning is over. So LSU cannot get insurance. It'll be up to Allie Kilponen. She will face Gibson, Malkin, and Green, 4, 5, and 6. LSU up 2-1 here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Love Walk-On Sports.
move quickly to the 7th inning. LSU needs 3 outs to get a win. And you might hear some cheers out of Tuscaloosa and Gainesville and those surrounding areas. An LSU win over Arkansas keeps those teams alive in the SEC championship hunt. And LSU would like to get a win over a top 10 opponent. Or number 7, depending on which poll you look at. Kilponen's got to go through Gibson, Malkin, and Green. Gibson a sac fly and a fly ball to right. Lefty bat, 2-1. LSU, the pitch is low and away, ball 1. Kilponen now 83 pitches, has been very efficient. 3 strikeouts, 2 of them to end the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0 to the lefty, popped up to left. Briggs circles under it, makes the catch, first out. That one might have been playing a few tricks on Briggs. She moved over and then moved in and then back to the other side, and there's 1 away. It's always nice when you get that first out in the 7th inning.
Next up for the Razorbacks, designated player number 22, Lenny Malkin.
Lenny Malkin grounded into a double play and flew to center field. Here's the first pitch. Strike called, inside corner, it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And here's the pitch to Malkin, low and away. And it's a ball and a strike. Malkin's got power, but is only 2 for her last 27. Right-handed bat. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball headed up the middle, but it's picked up by Pleasance. Throw to first in time, and there's 2 down. It just didn't have enough steam to get up the middle. Pleasance showed good range. Had a nice hop at the end that came up for her, and Arkansas is down to their final out. And it is Green, the catcher. Kayla Green, a .231 hitter. 0 for 2 today, 0 for 4 in the series. Right-handed batter with 11 homers. Not sure the fans. The last Arkansas base runner was with